It's interesting to learn that most of what we think is lost wisdom and lost knowledge is not lost at all. As I've discovered in the last year, many of these mystery schools still prevail from the time of ancient Egypt, and they're still held within certain royal houses. The dragon court itself was founded by Queen Shebek-Nefru back in 1800 roughly BC. That court still exists today. It's been through a number of changes, and it was essentially the court that most historians know about today was the version of it that was refounded in Hungary in 1408. And it was founded by Emperor Sigismund of Hungary. Now, he was a direct descendant of the kings of Jerusalem, so he didn't reinvent the dragon order, he inherited it through family line. It had always been there, and he drew up a pact with nobles and princes of the line to protect the true sovereignty of the Grail dragon bloodline from the Anunnaki. He drew up a document at the time, and it said that you will, as members of this order, be able to display the Ouroboros dragon with the red cross. That is the mark of Cain. Circular dragon, biting its own tail with the red cross in the center. That was the emblem of the Rosicrucis, perpetuated within the royal lines from 3000 odd BC to 1408 BC, a continuation of exactly this dynasty. And they were heavy into alchemy.
The Order of the Holy Grail. Few people are acquainted with the fact that the flower of manhood in France and England belonged to knighthoods founded ages ago, their object being the recognition of and the homage due womanhood. These orders bear the names of Knights of the Garter in England, whose insignia is the garter, and Knights of France, represented by the fleur de lis. Both these orders, ladies and gentlemen, were founded by men belonging to an older and nobler order, Knights of the Holy Grail, who took advantage of a trivial circumstance to establish these orders for the protection of womanhood. Though the knights were in search of the Holy Grail, their own soul, the Grail represents their own soul, they were ever ready to fight for their country, for womanhood, and the sacred mysteries. Other orders dating back many periods of time under different names and emblems entertained the same high-minded chivalric motives. The motto of the Knights of the Garter, Onai soi qui mal yapins, translated, reads, "Evil to him who evil thinks." This phrase fell from the lips of Edward III as he penned the Garter, "Guard her," to his arm. To the initiated, this motto takes on a deeper meaning. In its most exalted purity, it was used by knights centuries before the Christian era. The Garter is a feminine emblem, supposedly unseen unless by accident. A mishap to a noted countess caused the Garter to become the insignia of one of the great orders in history.
He must have the very kindest and most gentle attitude towards everything. He must realize the importance of being at peace even in the midst of chaos. This type of thing and this realization of what should be then helps the individual to gain this equilibrium, and he becomes a knight errant. He becomes one dedicated to the service of the system, the Grail system, the Garter system, the orders of the Quest, the orders of the Bath, and all the great orders of chivalry. The search for the Golden Fleece, which is the great order of chivalry in Europe, on the continent, is again the same thing. The Golden Fleece is the ray of light flowing from the Lamb of God.
And just as the terrorist seeks to divide humanity in hate, so we have to unify it around an idea, and that idea is liberty.
It is not without significance, ladies and gentlemen, that this eminent Mason tells us that Lucifer is the source of that light. Elsewhere, writing of Satan, Albert Pike teaches that he, meaning Satan, is, and I quote, not a person, but a force created for good, but which may serve for evil. It is the instrument of liberty or free will. They represent this force which presides over the physical generation under the mythologic and horned form of the god Pan. Thence came the he-goat of the Sabbat, which is a witches' festival, brother of the ancient serpent, and the light-bearer.